In this episode, we're waiting for WA to ease its border restrictions. So we retrace our steps and continue our journey in the Northern Territory, travelling from Keep River National Park back to Timber Creek, where we spend 3 nights, and then down to Lapai Campground in Judbarra National Park. From there we move on to the Vic River Ford Crossing Free Camp before having a night at Top Springs, a couple of nights at Katherine, back to Googly Holes, and finally over the border into WA.
Well, we just had a positive little experience at the WA border. The police are there, very friendly.
Yeah, really nice.
If you approach them the right way. They actually offered to give us some fuel, which is a bit of a sigh of relief because we weren't sure whether we were going to make it back to Timber Creek. And he didn't quite know how to use the bowser, so he actually gave us a full tank. He was only meant to give us 20 litres, so we're pretty chuffed with that. Ooh. Gives us a few more options available.
And we're still sitting in this limbo. We've spoken to the caravan park over at Wyndham in WA. We can quarantine there for 14 days, but you're only allowed a 1 metre perimeter around your caravan and awning, which sounds pretty tough with the kids, so we really don't know what to do. Can't complain. We heard on the news there's 12 million Australians in lockdown, so we're not locked down, we're just locked out at the moment. But anyway, we might just play around in Northern Territory for a bit longer and try and make a decision about what to do.
We went into Western Australia.
Yeah, we did. We dipped our toe into WA.
Yeah, the police let us do a UE in WA.
At Timber Creek, we'll spend 1 or 2 nights here, and it feels like an absolute oasis. We've got a bakery, fuel, water.
We're at Timber Creek Caravan Park, and we've just been feeding crocodiles on the stick, putting it into the water, and the crocodiles go snap and get it. They're freshies. We've also been throwing meat up into the air, and then the birds swoop down and catch the meat and eat it.
The whistling kites.
Yeah.
There's about 10 of them there.
So what a fabulous place this is. Just on the banks of the river right near the caravan park, and over this other side there's a rather large crocodile just chilling out. Gone for a little wander down to look at this Gregory tree, it's called. It's a giant boab that has been here for such a long time that it's actually got the carving in there, if you can see it. July 2nd, 1856, which is when Augustus Gregory, an explorer back in the day, came and set up camp here while he was trying to repair his ship. He was exploring this Victoria River region. And this beautiful old tree is also really important to the Aboriginal people in the area.
Alright, so we've just left Timber Creek. Time to head out for a bit of an adventure into the Gregory Judbarra National Park sort of area. Probably out there for about 5 days or so. We'll see what happens. We're fully loaded with fuel this time, fully loaded with water, so we're ready to go for a while.
Yep, we're heading down the Buchanan Highway, which we've heard is not much of a highway at all. And then from there we'll access the 4-wheel drive tracks. So it could be exciting, but sort of looming on our minds is this decision we're going to have to make in a few days about whether or not we continue waiting for the WA border to open, or if we decide to change our trip and head east. Look, there's some wild horses running past. Well, that's an exciting thing to see.
Like driving along the road, and I was like, "Whoa, what are they? The donkeys!"
We've got donkeys! So much for seeing Australian animals. So we think this might be Jasper Gorge. in Judbarra National Park, Gregory National Park, but I'm not sure, it's not much of a gorge. It looks like we might have overshot it and it's actually down there. So, been down to the gorge, wasn't all that amazing, so we're going to spend the afternoon cracking peanuts, which have been sitting in our pantry for a while, and playing Monopoly Bid. And over there is our lovely little site. Parked in the sun because we need the solar power. The river just beyond. Alright, well, we're going to try our luck today with a little bit of four-wheel driving, starting on this Tuwakam track. It says 3 hours for 20 kilometres, so we'll see how we go. But we're in the Judbarra National Park, and the main thing to do here is four-wheel driving, so it should be a bit of fun. Hopefully we come back with all our tyres intact. Well, it's fair to say this is fairly slow going, this four-wheel drive track. It's wild. Very bouncy. Enjoying it, Mark?
I'm enjoying it. The kids have to keep their head inside the little section of their beaches, otherwise they have a high chance of whacking each other with their heads.
I already did once.
When we see these parts, we say, righto kids, heads back in boosters.
Sorry about the bouncy footage, but
It's like the
that's just how it is. We're at the Belita Homestead. It's quite a nice little spot, but I can imagine back in the day this would be a hard place to live, very remote. People started running cattle here in about the 1880s. And there's some pretty amazing stories written up in the homestead there about people trying to endure floods in the 1970s here and the difficult lifestyle that people experienced many years ago. Now it's just a really beautiful spot for a picnic.
Here we are at a lookout. We don't actually know where it is. We found it at Wiki Camps. We don't think it has a name, but it's beautiful. There's a great view, a bit of a steep drive to get up, but it's worth it.
Sure is.
Amazing. Passing through Victoria River Downs, famous cattle station. They run about 22,000 head here of cattle. Look at that, 4 helicopters. Pretty serious business.
Pulled up at our camp for today, nice and early.
Nice spot.
It's a nice little spot, it's a free camp. Ali, what have we got over there?
A freshwater crocodile who just lives in this river, but he's not going to hurt us because he's not going to come too far. I'm a bit behind. There's a third.
We're always a bit behind.
I'm even behind us. Because you can't be in front on a diary. Are you ready? Okay, Dara, today we might be doing this and we might be doing this. Because you haven't actually done it.
Very true.
Such a nice place. Like over there was a spot where it's so clear you could just see it was a crocodile there.
Well, good morning. We're just about to have a bit of a lazy pack up at our camp here at Victoria River Crossing, which is a free camp. We've absolutely loved it here, haven't we?
It's been a beautiful spot. You can see the river behind us there. There's one little freshie that inhabits this area, which we've seen a few times and got up close and personal with.
Very cute. Sometimes a little bit too up close at times.
Yeah, it told us that.
Yeah.
But no, lovely spot. Been here a couple of nights and going to head off towards Top Springs today.
So it looked pretty easy from the outside, but let's see what it was like from the inside. Even easy from the inside.
But we're actually just about 100 k's west of Daly Waters. And behind this facade there's actually a really lovely little pub and beer garden that we've enjoyed and a nice little piece of grass to stay on. That's Top Springs, guys. This is it. Well, here we are on the road again, leaving Top Springs and heading up towards Katherine. Primarily because we weren't sure where else to go, but also it's a good spot to try and replace a wheel that has been punctured in our full drive on. Anyway, we're on the Buntine Highway, and while Mark was giving the caravan a bit of a rinse down, I've been reading up about this highway and who it's named after. And this guy Buntine actually invented the concept of road trains and transporting cattle on road trains, which completely revolutionised the industry up here, made mustering so much faster, because the cattle can be transported in a matter of days rather than months or even up to a year to get to their destination market. And so he invented having 3 trailers and also 2 levels of cattle, and we've seen quite a few of those road trains come past Top Springs while we're staying the night. So we're back in Katherine, or just on the outskirts of Katherine, and we're trying something a little different this time. All the caravan parks are booked out with people waiting to get across the border to WA. So we've tested out this thing called Hip Camp, which maybe everyone else has heard of, but we hadn't. It's kind of like Airbnb, but you stay in your caravan on someone's property. So there's the house up there, and we're staying in their front paddock, basically. Well, exciting news in the camp here on the outskirts of Katherine. What have we just read?
WA's opening to the NT.
Yay!
It's Friday night, Sunday night, Monday morning. They're opening. Woo! People who've been in the NT will be allowed into WA without any quarantine.
Well, hang on, let me just check the details.
And its wheels have come off.
Its wheels have come off. It's getting 4 new tyres. Why is that, Mark?
Well, the tyres are a bit old. We had a little bit of wear on one of the side walls, and so we decided it was time to get some new ones put on.
So here we are, spending up big.
So, this is our last night in the Northern Territory. We've had about 7 fabulous weeks here. It's been pretty awesome all around.
Yeah, it's very hard to pick out highlights, but we're going to go around and all mention one thing we loved. Discussing it together, we all absolutely loved catching up with our friends, Ruth, Glenn, Rory and Priya, and also my sister Libby and her kids. Fantastic times we had with them. Other than that, a key highlight for me really was hearing those dingoes howl when we camped out at Lorella Springs. That was just amazing.
For me, I just loved all the really red rocky escarpments and everything that's all over the territory. There's so many of them and they're all stunning.
Very true.
I liked Lorella Springs, swimming in all the rock holes and walking and seeing Uluru.
Yep, you are a big fish, Amber, so I'm not surprised you like swimming.
Uluru was also a great hit for me, and I really enjoyed the yellow water cruises.
Yellow water cruise, I thought that might be one of yours, Mark.
Well, it'll be up there.
Yep.
I like camping next to crocodiles.
Oh,
Crocodile weather.
very brave. We had a great spot next to crocodiles, didn't we?
Well, sun's going down over at WA. hopefully tomorrow that's where we are.
Thank you, Northern Territory, for an absolutely amazing couple of months.
Yes, you did offer us heaps.
It was brilliant.
Yep. Bye.